Back now on Triad today, and during this pandemic and periods of isolation, it's more important than ever to know how best we can care for our senior citizens and our loved ones. And we have a special guest with us who's been with us before, and I want to introduce him right now, who's going to help us with this topic. Marc Maready is Chief Operating Officer for Ridge Care Incorporated. Welcome back to the show, Marc.
So glad to be with you.
For folks at home that don't know, if you just moved in the area, Ridge Care has umpteen billion, it seems, communities, senior communities around. But you have different types of communities around the state. There's like assisted living. I mean, what are the different types?
Independent living with assisted living services, assisted living, and memory care. We have 16, not umpteen billion.
Okay, well, I always like to exaggerate. But look, I want to talk about something serious. With this, and with so many older Americans being more susceptible to the COVID-19, although younger people can get it, but seniors are often more susceptible. If I have an elderly parent in a senior living place, or assisted living anywhere, should I panic and say, gee, I need to go get mom and put her in the car and take her home? I mean, what's going on?
I think that's a knee-jerk reaction. I think you got to focus on facts, not fear. So we're a unique environment in that we have trained healthcare professionals who've been through infection control training. They have access to personal protective equipment. They have all the resources of the Ridge Care home office team to help them keep residents who live with us safe. I think they're in the best environment they can be in right now.
Right.
We're carefully screening people as they come in. We're looking very carefully at where they've traveled. Are they exhibiting any symptoms right now that might lead to some type of an upper respiratory disease? You're not interacting with somebody you don't know who they are, where they've been.
Right.
So I think they're in a really safe environment, about as safe as you can get right now.
And not isolated like so many of us are now, and people get depressed being alone. I'm just talking about myself, even married couples, they get isolated and start to, go crazy about that. But in your communities, they're already among friends and people they know, and they're not isolated.
They're not isolated. They've got activities going on. Of course, we're being responsible. We're socially distancing as much as we can, but this community is their home. And so asking them to just stay in their room 24/7 would be like asking you to stay in your master bedroom, right? It doesn't work. So they're carefully screened. We're making sure that if anybody gets sick, they're staying in their room. But otherwise, in a really responsible way, they're able to engage with the community members, their friends who they're with on a day in, day out basis. And they're able to participate in things that keep them mentally and socially and spiritually engaged.
And so much of what we're talking about depends on the care that's given by your folks, by your team at each of these communities. So let me just ask sort of a social question here. It's got to be stressful for your team, for your folks who are working with seniors. How's everybody holding up?
Yeah, they're doing really well. I've always said that you see the best in people and the worst in people in extreme situations, and I think the senior living industry as a whole has really answered the call in a remarkable way. We've got team members who come to work who may be afraid of what it's going to mean for their own personal health, even though I think we protect them well. They're concerned about their children who are at home because there's no school or daycare, and yet they show up. They're kind, they're compassionate, they're doing the things that they need to do to keep the people who live with us safe. And I've heard a lot of people bandy about the term hero, but we're really seeing heroes being produced in this situation.
Absolutely. I guess the last thing I want to talk with you about is how we can best support our seniors, our loved ones, our elder. And you see things on TV, on the news stories about a grandchild coming to the outside of a window of grandma's house and waving or doing social media, whatever. Yeah. What do you have any suggestions?
That stuff's heartwarming. Just don't forget them. Realize that although they are amongst friends and people who care about them, they still need to know that you love them. Send them an email, send them a card, come outside of the window and keep a safe distance and send a signal to them. But don't forget about them. We've put phones in all of our communities that have FaceTime capabilities so that they can do video chats. And there have been some pretty exciting things that have happened.
That's great. Up on screen, ridgecare.com is the website. And for the radio listening audience, I'll repeat it, www.ridgecare.com. Or you can call 336 area code 993-7555. I got that right.
You got it.
993-7555 for more information. Marc Maready, I can't tell you how much it means to me that you took time to drop by the garden and give us some information on what's going on. Thanks a lot.
So happy to do it.
All right.